san, ni, each. Oh, how's it, everybody? My name is Kyuubi, and welcome to the 6th episode of Kyuubi's Corner, where I invite artists, cosplayers, and dancers to talk about anime and Asian culture here in Hawaii. Today, I'm joined by the one, the only, the handsome Filipino artist, 7Sketches. Welcome. Wait, add a sound effect. So loud. Oh my god.
Whoa, what a reception. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Before we get into the introduction, if you guys haven't watched episode 5, where I talked about K-pop culture with Sam, India, and Jack, please click above Derek's head right now. We're also playing this on the live stream right here. We got 2 people saying hi. Oh, Close the Distance joined the band.
Close the Distance.
Let's get it, baby.
Oh, I like you guys.
I like you guys. All right. So, with that taken out of the way, where are you leaving? We have Jermaine behind the camera. With that taken care of, Derek, if you want to give a little introduction about yourself.
Oh yeah, sure. My name is Derek. My brand is 7Sketches. I like to doodle. That's all I can think of right now.
What would you say is like your style of art?
My style of art? Yeah. So I mean, it's a mixture of stuff. So definitely graffiti, anime, and whatever you call like Sanrio, like the cute stuff.
Yeah.
Like whatever style that is, like Kawaii art or whatever. It's a mixture of those 3 basically.
So we're gonna have a few pictures popping up right now of his art display for a few seconds that we've taken. I remember the last time I saw you was at your pop-up at Lion Coffee, and that is where I copped this shirt.
Oh yeah, thank you, man.
I'm gonna have like photo shoot pictures lined up later. But is this shirt? Was it just for that pop-up, or is it on your website too?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I did it. I mean, it's not like exclusively for Lion Coffee, but it's definitely influenced by them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to purchase it, they can still order it. So yeah.
Nice. What do you think is? I know that you've done so much art in years, but what do you think is your favorite? I guess not style, but favorite thing to draw.
Favorite thing to draw?
Favorite character or favorite, what would you say? Like anime style?
Oh, okay.
Like anime characters, yeah.
Well, for me, like, I mean, I guess it would start off with like, like cartoon characters, like, comic strips, Bugs Bunny, what have you. And then after that, when graffiti became a thing, I was heavily into that. So I was always trying to like, do like lettering and stuff like that and graffiti characters. I think that's where that was my first love, is that style of art. Then the whole like comic books and anime that came afterwards. But I would say my first love was definitely graffiti. I wouldn't say I'm a graffiti artist at all. Like I know just I gotta want to make sure that people don't think I'm claiming I'm a graffiti artist and I've done stuff like that. But I'm definitely a big fan of it, and I take elements from it and incorporate it into my art. And I've tried to do graffiti art style, but I mean it's difficult. But yeah.
So going transitioning from that. Graffiti art is like one of the 4 pillars of hip hop, as most people would say. Yeah. The other 3 would be b-boying, DJing, and MCing.
Yeah.
So do you personally like the hip hop culture?
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
Because I know you're from Hawaii, and we're getting down in the ghetto, and you know what I mean. So when did you get into? Were you always into hip hop culture?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm dating myself, but I was there at the birth of hip hop, basically. Okay. So yeah, ever since that blew up and it came onto the scene, like I fell in love with the music, I fell in love with the dance, the art, like everything about it. So I think my earliest exposure to hip hop was a movie, Breaking and Beat Street. Oh, do you know those movies?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
You've heard of them? You only heard of them?
Well, because no, I think about Break Skate. Never mind. Or the Crew. But other b-boy movies I've seen. The most recent one I've seen was Battle of the Year. That was like years.
Is that with Chris Brown?
Yeah, when he broke his ankle.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, and Battle of the Year, like that actually came from the actual competition.
Because the Americans were always like booed and stuff, right? Right? I don't know. I'm not. I wasn't that much into the culture because I think I was just in high school when that stuff happened.
Yeah, so I was watching Battle of the Year before that movie came out. They had it like every year, and in the beginning it was the Americans. From what I've been watching, it was always the Americans winning in the beginning, and
and then all the Asians started coming in, right? The South Koreans and Japanese.
Exactly.
Mainly.
So the Japanese came in and they started like killing it, and then the Koreans came in and they took it to the next level. And the last time I saw it, it was between the French and the Koreans.
The
like those,
French?
Yeah, like those two guys were always at the top.
Bonjour, the French. Because a common thing I've seen is like, I don't know, like stuff that kind of going off topic. American things that Americans have made popular. Like b-boying stuff.
Yeah.
Or certain kinds of art, or gaming too.
Yeah.
When they get mainstream and other countries like Korea and Japan and mainly Asian countries, when they start getting into that, they get better than the Americans. That's what I've noticed like in the last few years.
I know they're hardcore. I think when it comes to like practicing, and I feel like the support too. Like from what I understand from talking to other people, like over here, I mean, people, it's it's born here, right? So people it comes from America and whatnot, but in the Asian cultures, like I feel like they get more support from like like for example, or even like Europe, like MTV like supports that, like their MTV like will sponsor like these events, and it's like mainstream type of thing. Whereas in America, I feel like b-boying is more like like background dancers for music videos or whatever. But over there, like you're like a celebrity is what I've heard.
Definitely,
talking to some people,
definitely.
It can become a career and whatnot. So
I've always had an interest in like hip hop culture or dancing in general since I was younger. But I guess even b-boying, I tried b-boying a few years ago. It's freaking hard.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Especially if you're like, if you don't have that much upper body strength and stuff, because most of the floor work, so that's why I'm mostly a top rocker.
Oh, you're a top?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mostly a top rocker because I can't do the floor movements. It's like pretty weird. But I don't know.
No, same here, man.
I tried. Have you tried
like b-boying?
Yeah.
So I tried like back in the days. I would try to do like
do flares and coffee grinders.
I can't.
Those are the hardest for me.
Coffee grinder, maybe I could do that back in the days, and like super simple stuff like it's so corny, but knee spins or back spins.
Oh yeah, no, I've been doing knee spins because that's the thing I do.
But I could not do I can't do windmills or shoulder rolls. I can't do like none of those acrobatic stuff. I could do like floor work, like 6-step, and like simple stuff. I think they call it baby flares or something like that. That's probably the most that's as far as my b-boying goes. Like that's my claim to fame is those. I think they call it baby flares or something like that. It still looks like floor work, but a little like 6-step, but a little bit I don't know, cooler looking, I guess. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So as we're talking about the 4 pillars of hip hop, as I stated earlier, you've been promoting to the hip hop community here in Hawaii for a few years, you said?
I guess it started 4 years ago with Art and Flea, and then I got into, I guess, as far as like a more hip hop. Oh, okay, so I can think of like two situations where my art was promoted in a more of the hip hop realm. It was with when I did group shows with Light Sleepers, and I did b-boy jams with Tom Solo. So I don't know if do you know Tom Solo?
Is he a b-boy?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I hope he's a b-boy.
Yeah, so those Kavit from Light Sleepers, super hip hop head. So he's been providing gallery shows for local artists to like showcase their artwork. So he invited me to do a few group shows, and he actually gave me an opportunity to do my own solo art show, which I'm super grateful for. So I did that, and then with b-boy Tom Solo, he would throw jams, all over the place, and then he would let me sell at his events. Nice. So that's how I got to push my art through
to that community. Dope. So with so we'll say maybe a few years of that experience and such, would you say that, and maybe like looking on social media, would you say that in today's world a 5th pillar of hip hop would also be the apparel?
Yeah.
Because I think that's also
the fashion, right?
Yeah, the fashion, and how it started, and like, we're not gonna date you back, but when it first started, it was mainly like track suits kind of thing, and like Adidas, because like they would they would like slippery material,
Exactly,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Because it helped with their moves and stuff.
Right.
But nowadays, people are just b-boying in jeans and whatever the fuck they want, and windbreakers and stuff. That's like my b-boy apparel or my hip hop apparel.
Okay,
just
okay.
jeans, my Nikes, and like a windbreaker because slippery.
Right.
But would you say that apparel is now like not as important, but it's important now?
To the just in general or whatever?
Just in the hip hop culture.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think you can separate the hip hop fashion from hip hop culture. Yeah, like if you're really into hip hop, like I feel like you're gonna dress like a certain way. So
yeah, you're not gonna go out with just a wife beater and like basketball shorts and slides. You know?
Yeah.
I think there's a certain.
You're not gonna be like your shirt is tucked in with a button-up shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's a certain look to it. I think still.
Usually maybe a t-shirt, jeans, and your kicks or something.
Yeah. For sure.
What is your now that we're talking about that? What is your favorite streetwear?
Streetwear.
In general,
yeah, because they kind of overlap, yeah. Because you got street, you got art. I mean, not street. You got skate. Yeah. Like they all kind of seem similar to me. For me, my ultimate favorite street brand is Stussy for sure. So I'm a huge fan of Stussy.
Jermaine's like, yeah.
You know about Stussy?
You know about Stussy?
Wait, let me do that.
Hello on the live stream. We're saying hi to our. We got 5 people watching. What's up, baby?
Oh yeah.
Here with seven sketches, but 7 sketches.
Skevin
sketches. Really Filipino. If you guys have any questions, let us hit them up down in the chat below as we talk about this. So, how long? So your brand's been up for almost 5 years, and since then, have you been going to Hawai'i cons and vending there every year since?
Yeah, actually, I was fortunate when I first started doing my art. It started off with Art and Flea.
Yeah. And
then actually a bunch of my coworkers. I used to work at Edible Arrangements, and one of my coworkers is Ian.
Oh yeah.
So Ian was Ian was a part of that Hawai'i Con scene, right? So he was there for me when I did my first event at Art and Flea, and then right around the corner was Hawai'i Con, so he was like, hey, why don't you throw some of your leftover merch on our table, and you can get some exposure in that scene. And I didn't think I would do well because my stuff is not hardcore anime. I mean, I have some anime stuff.
Yeah, like Studio Ghibli stuff.
And like Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. So more mainstream kind of stuff. But it's just a fraction of what I do. I do like comic book. I do like original and street and
pop
cutesy.
Culture.
Pop culture exactly. So it's just it's like a variety of stuff. But they're totally encouraging. So they let me put my stuff on their table, and then at the end of the weekend, they're like, Derek, you did pretty good, man. You should totally do Hawai'i Con next year. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, people actually like my stuff. So, yeah, dude, I was tripping.
I'm one of those people because...
Really?
Which con was this? 2014, maybe?
2014, 15. I
think that was my first Hawai'i Con.
For real?
So I think... Because I remember that's where I met you and Ian.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that was
do you remember? No? I think it was Hawai'i Con, but I know that it was back when you guys had the booths together.
Oh, with that...
Yeah.
We went all out.
It was like a coalition. It was a group of you two and one or two other artists or whatever.
Yeah, it was me, Ian.
Also known as E2D.
E2D, DJ E2D, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Minty Party. And then Chase. I forgot what this. Oh no, Chase and Alyssa had they were
their joint.
Yeah, they were a team back then.
Ooh.
So yeah, we were fortunate.
back when my channel had maybe 100 or 200 subscribers. And I was vlogging with a GoPro or my phone.
Oh really?
Before I bought this Canon T5i. We've blown up, baby.
Wait, so you started around the same time I was doing Hawai'i Con?
I think so. That was so that's when I first entered the scene because that was my first Hawai'i Con.
For real?
I think it was 2014 or 2015.
What? For real?
Yeah, that was my first Hawai'i Con.
Wow. I got the impression that you've been doing this.
Oh hell no! I wish, but now I just went at it hardcore now.
Oh nice.
Yeah, but
that's awesome, man.
Damn, crazy. Ever since then, so much can happen.
No, totally. Oh, that's crazy. So we kind of you know.
We're going together, baby.
Yeah,
we're going together. Filipino pride, baby. PI, baby. Talking about Jermaine's in the back. It was the P, with the P, baby. With the P.
Or is it
we're going to take a quick break to change this battery. We're back after the battery change. We're talking about Hawai'i Con. So, now that we're talking about cons, you've been through like so many cons and conventions in the last like few years.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite?
Oh, I mean, each one is different.
They're all different.
Yeah, I mean, the Hawai'i Con, the anime scene. I mean, that's super fun. Comic book. I love comic books, so I love the what is it, Amazing and Honolulu Comic Con, and Maui too. Maui's awesome. I love doing like the outer island conventions as well. So Maui's so much fun. I just did Kauai.
Yeah, their first
Kauai
one, right?
Comic Con. I know.
Kauai.
It gets confusing when you say Kauai Con. Kauai Con. Yeah.
What?
Kauai Con.
Funny story. When my friends were like, "Here, are you gonna go Kauai Con?" I'm like, "We're gonna go to another island for a convention." I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, "No, it means cute in Japanese." I'm like, okay.
Oh, you thought Kauai?
Yeah, I thought because like I never up until that first con I was like, oh, I don't know what this is.
Really?
I'd never been to a convention before.
Oh,
I always thought cosplaying and stuff was like weird.
Wait, what?
I know it's pretty weird.
You're so you're gonna have a lot of people hating on you now.
Well, I am now. But, like when I was a kid and like up until maybe middle school, like I never knew that there were conventions. I just thought it was like whenever I see people in costume like out in the public, I was like, okay.
You're from here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so
I was born in Maui and I came here when I was 3.
Oh, what? Oh, so you never knew about the
con scene up until 2014.
How did you even discover that?
My friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my close friends. Like we were watching. They got me into anime.
Okay.
Or I mean, I watched anime when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then they introduced me to more anime. And then I made friends with a few cosplayers in my high school.
Okay.
And then they were like, "Oh, you should come with us to this event." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know what it is, but okay."
Yeah.
And I made a really ghetto assassin cosplay. Ass. But we've come a long way since then, baby.
Oh, that's awesome. Man.
But I think maybe to give you like a little time to think about your favorite con, because I mean like they're all different, as you said.
Yeah.
For me, it's just I think Hawai'i Con is just my favorite, just because for me personally because. It was my first con. It's the biggest con.
Yeah.
And it's the con that I can closely relate to because of all the panels and events that I host. Like, my Kyuubi Talks Naruto panel and my photo shoot.
Right.
And all my other friends that host panels and stuff.
Oh, okay.
For me, but I don't know if you have a favorite con.
I mean, I guess I could say I do. Well, so my interest, I mean, I love anime, I love comic books. I can't say like I'm hardcore though, like, like I like it more on a mainstream level, yeah. So I'm more about the design. So what I love about anime is the shading and the details, and the chibi too, like the cute stuff of like in anime. Comic books, I mean, I'm just I've loved Spider-Man since I was a little kid, so that's like for me that's my childhood. Comic books. Anime is new for me, but I fell in love with like the artwork with anime. But right now, currently, like I'm super in love with designer toys. So I don't know if you know what designer toys are, but
like I'm a guess. Tell me if I'm wrong. Wait, designer toy, is that like high end, like fancy? Not fancy, but like pretty expensive, like the bear blocks kind of stuff.
Bear bricks.
Bear bricks.
Yeah, bear bricks.
I'm not cultured, okay? This isn't my domain. I'm a weeb. I'm a filthy weeb. Okay? I'm a filthy weeaboo. I'm a filthy weeaboo. I mean, well...
No, but you kind of know what...
I know.
You know, like, of it. Yeah.
They're dope.
Yeah. So the reason for me, like, so designer toys, my first exposure to designer toys is through the whole graffiti scene, actually. Like, you know how, like, graffiti is street art, relates to, like, sneaker culture, what have you, right?
Oh, yeah.
So when I used to go to all these, like, sneaker stores, I would notice. Oh, sorry, my accent.
It's the theme of today's podcast.
But I would see these, like, these toys. They look like toys to me, but then they didn't look like, action figure toys.
Or stuff that you could play with.
Yeah, exactly. They're not like, they look like, they felt like sculptures, but they look...
Yeah, like art.
Yeah, like art. But for some reason, they weren't like, not the type of art you would, like sculptures you would see in museums. They really like felt at home in like that hip hop, street art, like environment, yeah. So I was like, well, I don't know why I'm gravitating towards these toys, but they feel graffiti to me. It's like, it looks like 3D graffiti characters is what it looked like to me, because they had like those, you know, characters with like the oversized shoes, and like they had like this street art character design feel. So I was like, oh, that must be hip hop toys or something. Like at that time, I didn't know what the name of it was, but I just knew that I was like, you know, into it. But when I saw how much it costed back then, yeah, you're right. Like they're kind of high end, you know. They're expensive. They're not like
they're like in the hundreds.
Yeah, you don't just like go to Walmart and pick up like a designer toy.
You gotta go to like Bait or Michael store, the bank. Shout out to the bank. I'm gonna leave them down below. Other streetwear or even online.
Right.
Can't really find them at like a retail place.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, so they're very like, you know, they're like collectible, like art figures or what have you. So that's why I like gravitated.
Could we look forward to any 7Sketches?
Dude, that is like
ones in the near future. Oh my god, that'll be dope.
Dude, that is like one of
maybe one of Kyuubi Kaze.
A collab.
Yeah, collab.
7Sketches.
7Sketches and Kyuubi Kaze.
Designer toy collab. That would be sick.
Oh my god.
No, but yeah, so that's like what I'm really into. And now that designer toy scene has blown up into like beyond like the urban.
It's its own niche now.
Yeah, like I mean, it has like you know, like now it's like you see it in like what's it called, like Funko Pops is considered.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's like a whole debate between Funko Pops and designer toys, but it's basically, I feel like it came out of the designer toy culture, and then you got Kid Robot and like you said, Bear Bricks, Kyuubi, what have you. So, so yeah, I'm like all into that kind of stuff, and. The type of con that is about that, it would be Designer Con on the West Coast, which is in California, and then in New York just recently, like a few years ago, 5 Points Fest.
And you went to both of those?
Yeah, dude.
We're talking about how you went to these conventions on the mainland.
Yeah.
Were you vending at these conventions, or just as you were vending there?
I was vending. So the Designer Con, I went there first as an attendee, and then the next year I signed up, and they you know, they had a spot available, so they invited me last minute, and I was like hesitant at first. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that. There's not much time for me to like, you know, prep. But then I told myself, like, if I say no now, like I might always say no. Like I might always make up an excuse why I can't do it, because I was kind of like had a little bit of fear, like, can, you know, like a small country boy like me, like, you know, hang with all those guys over there. So I was like, you know, I just do it now. If you fail, just learn from your, you know, mistakes and do better next year. But the fact that they, you know, like accepted my application, you know, I would have been stupid to say like, nah, maybe next year. It's hard to get in.
I bet.
Yeah. So.
Are you? It's very random. What area of Hawaii are you from?
So I'm from Kauai, the island of Kauai.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like an outer island boy like
you too. I know a few like cosplayers from there too.
Really? From Kauai?
Well, the one, I don't know if you know him. His name is Anthony Spears.
Anthony Spears.
He's like a Naruto cosplayer.
Oh really? Does he live here now or something?
Yeah, he lives here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But because we were talking about cons and places you've sold or sold your merchandise and stuff. Where can people find your stuff now?
No, okay. So
I know you have it in a variety of places.
Yeah. So like, okay, so locally, like here on the island, you can get it at Big Bad Wolf at South Shore Market.
I've seen it there.
Yeah, From the Heart.
I've seen it there.
Kalihi. Razor Concepts at Pro Ridge. I don't. For a while, I was at Nalu in Waikiki, but probably it's not there anymore. But I was there. And on Kauai, Side Hustle. So that's a brand new store over there. So yeah, it's a freaking awesome store. All these stores are awesome. And then also Gallery F in Chicago. And then other than that, yeah. Dude, Chicago's a dope city, man.
I bet.
They got some
that sounds
sick ass street art over there.
Yeah.
Freaking, when I was there, I was like, every day was like, it felt like every day was powwow. You know, like somebody was up there doing a mural every time I was going out, random spots. But
you've done your fair share of murals too. Like,
yeah,
how many murals have you done?
Like I'm pretty new to it. I've done like I've done 2 for powwow. I did one at I did one out in Waihiwa with Kato folks, Kato and Case One and Quicks. Shout out to them, Zinc Night Crew, and then also at this coffee shop on University. Shoot, the name escapes me. Smokies. No, not Smokies. Oh my gosh!
Is that a coffee shop?
Do you know that
sounds like a
they sell like
Isn't that just down the road?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is Smokies.
Is it Smokies?
Maybe.
Yeah, Smokies. Yeah, Smokies.
I think so.
It is. So sorry, it's been
It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
I'm old and I'm losing my memory. But yeah, I did a mural over there too, and then I did a little mural inside of Side Hustle. So yeah. So I think those are all the murals that I've done so far.
What can people look forward to like in the near future? Or if you have any projects you're working on now or conventions you want to go to in the next like year or so?
Yeah. So for the rest of 2019, coming up next would be the mini con at Mokali and Muilili Library. So I got that coming up at the end of this month, and then the month after, so October, I got Maui Con, and then that same weekend I'm gonna be doing an event collaboration with 7-Eleven again for Food and Wine Festival. Yeah, that was gonna be.
Oh my god, we need to talk about that.
So that one's gonna be fun. Like I think I did a Food and Wine Festival with them like last year. It was so sick. It was so much fun. And then after that, I got the Designer Con in Anaheim. So and then a bunch of people from Hawaii is gonna be vending over there too. Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun event. Those are the main things that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That 7-Eleven Hawaiian Airlines collab.
Oh.
I wish I got all 6, but I was like, I looked at the fine print and it was like at different locations, like. And I just went back to sleep. I was like, oh my god. Or I don't know. I think I was working that day too, so it was pretty hard. But I was like, those were some.
No, dude, I did not expect people to collect all.
Actually, go to every 7-Eleven trying to find them.
I was tripping out, and some people I guess it wasn't well known that you could just look at the list on the website. So some people just randomly went to different 7-Elevens asking about it, yeah. And so I was touched by that people actually collected all 5 and so early too, yeah. Like I was getting all these tags.
Yeah, I saw it. You were blowing up.
Yeah, I was tripping. I was thank you guys for that. I totally appreciate that. But yeah, that was an awesome collab for sure.
So, in today's episode, we've talked a lot about the con scene, hip hop culture. I just want to end with if you have any words of advice for upcoming artists or dancers. Or anybody trying to get their name out there, what can they take away from your story?
My story.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I guess through my experiences. I mean, basically, for one, I know everybody says it all the time, I guess, but basically just do it. And for me, that's a big deal because I've held off on doing anything with my art because. I made all these excuses why I shouldn't do it because you're gonna be a starving artist or not confident in myself, and people might not like my works. I'm all shy, whatever. So lots of talking against myself, not to do it. But inside, something that I've always wanted to do, yeah. So I just had to overcome that negative talk to myself. So basically,
that voice inside your head.
Yeah, that voice inside your head. You just gotta overcome that and whatever excuses. And a lot of and I can relate to people that might be making excuses from themselves too. I don't have time. I have.
That was me all the time. That was me this past month. Ever since I don't know if you saw, but that I was depressed. Or I'm depressed video.
Oh really?
A month ago.
Oh, I gotta check that out. Oh.
I mean, if you want it, it's really personal.
No, I admire that though.
Yeah, it was
cool.
It was a month ago, and I just had to take a break.
Yeah.
Just making videos because I was dealing with my move to Japan and then all this paperwork and working. And
So
I haven't made a video in a month.
Oh.
This is gonna be the next video.
Hey. Oh, hey.
Yeah. But I agree. You just gotta do it, right?
Yeah, against whatever, all these excuses you come up with, and I'm sure they're reasonable excuses. But if you really love what what it is you want to do, you gotta. I've said it before in another interview. You gotta make an excuse for yourself to do it, instead of making excuses why you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's first and foremost. That's a hill to overcome. To just get started.
Yeah.
Then once you get started, then it's just it's a grind. You probably know that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's more work to me than a 9-to-5 job. I lose sleep over it, and I work much harder, and I put myself out there. I take more risk. I think I sacrifice more, but. It's because it's for something that I love. So it's the work. I mean, the struggle is real, and that it's really really hard work, but because it's for something that you love and it's rewarding, like I think it's worth it, in the end,
Like
so,
for me, it's a constant pressure to always be creating.
Totally.
For me,
Yeah.
like whether it's an Instagram post or a Snapchat, I'm barely on a Snapchat guy. I need to get my shit together. But, or like YouTube. I think for me, YouTube videos like I don't know. I just relate to them more.
Okay, that's your
like it's my weapon of choice. If
Okay,
you will.
okay.
And then from there, I just create content from that like YouTube video.
Okay.
I do want to say like networking is my number one like tip I can give to people. I don't know if I think I probably said it in previous videos.
Yeah.
But that's how we got here.
No,
Me
totally.
and you right now.
Totally.
Like 3-4 years ago when I first met you, I didn't think I'd be sitting down with you, having a one-on-one conversation
same here,
on a
man.
video.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Or like other guests too. So I think having a great network and just being positive and happy.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be salty and like no one wants to work with, I'm sure you've had your own experiences with like people you don't want to work with, or
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but for me, like, there's some people I don't want to like see or at cons and stuff.
Right. I mean, yeah, you want to surround yourself with like positive energy, like not negative, because I'm sensitive, so I get affected by that. Yeah, I won't pretend that I'm all hard or whatever. Like, people like if I'm around like negative energy, like that'll like kind of slow me down or whatever, and I need to like surround myself with like uplifting people to like kind of bring me out of that hole again or whatever. But no, you're absolutely right. Like networking is huge, and that's the thing for me. Like for the longest time, I've been like more of a bedroom artist. Like just doing things, and then if anything, I'll put it out online or whatever. But the idea of putting myself out there in public where I had to actually interact with people like scared me, because I'm more shy than anything. But when you put yourself out there and then you make those connections with people that have the same interests as you, it's easier, and then those connections are important because it leads to a lot of like opportunities.
That's how you get to Kyuubi's Corner episode 6.
Totally.
Hey.
Networking.
A graphic networking. Jeez. Well, we're about to end this podcast. Do you have anything on your mind that you want to leave our viewers with? Any thoughts? Any last words?
Yeah.
Right now, it's all for you.
I have nothing else to say to you guys. That's it. I'm done. I just wanted to pull Jermaine, the way she goes like this to the camera.
Oh God, that's kind of scary. Can you turn your head? That's kind of scary.
No, I'm just joking, you guys. I really appreciate everyone's support. And your guys' encouragement, the props. I appreciate everything. I wouldn't, you guys keep me inspired and encouraged and motivated to do what I do. So, mucho mahalos, you guys. Maraming salamat. Honto ni arigato gozaimasu.
Multilingual. Oh my God.
Mahalos.
Well, I'm gonna leave all of Derek's or 7Sketches links down below if you guys want to follow him.
Right there.
They're right there. If you guys are watching on Facebook, please hit that like button and comment below what you thought of this episode. And that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys love anime or Asian culture, please subscribe. Right over here. That's Derek's face.
Rest in peace.
Join the Kyuubi cult, the most lit anime fam in Hawaii. My name is Kyuubi. This is 7Sketches, and we're saying sayonara.
Sayonara.
Bye.
So funny.
It was nice being like, the background.